Where do we begin? Where do we begin? Where do we begin? Begin with the heart. Where do we begin? Where do we begin? Where do we begin? Begin with the heart. Where do we begin? Where do we begin? Where do we begin? Begin with the heart.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, I'm hungry. You can send some over? Okay. Good morning and welcome to the First Unitarian Fellowship of Nanaimo. Our mission is to create spiritual connection and bring compassion, discovery, and social justice to life. My name is Larry Bolt, and I'm honored today to be your service leader this morning. My pronouns are he, him, and his. Now, please take a moment to silence your cell phones, because after all, nobody wants to be that person like I usually am when the phone rings and everybody stares at me. And so let's say hello to all those people having their breakfast on Zoom. So turn to the camera at the back, which is that green frog on the wall, and wave to them. And then in gallery mode, you can see them waving to us.
Oh dear.
Whatever your hopes and dreams and aspirations, whatever your race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, gender identity, whatever makes you who you are warmly welcomed here. In keeping with our Unitarian Universalist aspiration of radical inclusion, we invite you to share your pronouns as well as your name when introducing yourself, if you are comfortable doing so. We are grateful for the diversity of voices on Sunday mornings, and our services vary from week to week. Our service is between 60 and 75 minutes long. If this is your first time with us, a very special welcome to you. If you're joining online, please consider sharing your contact information with us. You can share it with the host by going to the chat icon at the bottom of your screen, and we'd love to welcome you to our community. We have a wonderful website, ufon.ca, that's ufon.ca, and invite you to check it out for more detailed information about who we are, the services we offer, and how you can connect with us. We acknowledge today that we meet on the traditional territory of the Nanaimo First Nation. As Unitarians, we are committed to the work of reconciliation required to address the harm done to all Indigenous peoples and their culture by non-Indigenous peoples. We have much to learn from the Indigenous perspective, including that the earth is the source of all life and that our responsibility is to honor and care for it. We are absolutely delighted this morning to have Reverend Debra Faulk here from Victoria. She's joined us here. Debra is part of our ministry team along with Reilly Yeo. Is that how we pronounce it, Yeo? Yep, okay, good, thank you. As we continue to search for a permanent parish minister, they have been offering part-time ministerial leadership, an innovative approach to support our fellowship. We're pleased that they'll be returning for our next congregational year. Let us now enter into sacred time. Our musical director, Leah Hawkinson, will lead us into worship through music.
I think there's something darn magical about being able to offer a theme for a service and have the music director create a song to go with it and teach it to the choir. Thank you, Leah. Thank you, Fufonics. It's just wonderful. And I'm Reverend Debra Faulk. I use she, her pronouns. As we gather together for worship this morning, being both near and far, we light our chalice as we do each week. It is a symbol of our faith. A single candle flame in a dark space illuminates a person in silhouette. May its light be a beacon of hope for the many, those who feel lost, those who feel threat, those who feel tired, those who are uncertain. May our beacon of hope help you find home, help you feel safe, give you respite, and honor your searching mind and spirit. The symbol of a chalice used in Unitarian Universalist congregations throughout the globe was first created during World War II as a sign and a symbol for those escaping Nazism to be able to find a safe harbor. And so today we light a special candle for Yom HaShoah, also known as Holocaust Remembrance Day. It commemorates the lives and heroism of Jewish people who died in the Holocaust between 1933 and 1945. As we see the rise of fascism worldwide, let us not forget.
Today's gathering words were written by Jack Mendelssohn. Here in this sanctuary of ancient dreams and wisdom and beauty, we come to grow, to be healed, to stretch mind and heart, to be challenged, renewed, to be helped in our own continuing struggles for meaning and for love, to help build a world with more justice and mercy in it, to be counted among the hopers and doers. In the face of cynicism, darkness, brutality around us and within, we seek to align ourselves with a living community that would affirm rather than despair, that would think and act rather than simply adjust and succumb. Here we invite the spirit of our own humanity and the healing powers under, around, through, and beyond it to give us the nerve and grace, the toughness and sensitivity to search out the truth that frees and the life that maketh all things new. I'll turn it over to Leah to lead us in our first song today.
Thank you. Please rise in body or in spirit, and we'll sing together. Come sing a song with me, hymn number 346. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and the rose in the winter time. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and the rose in the winter time. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me. Come walk in rain with me, me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me, that I might know your mind. And I'll bring you hope when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Just one of the many, many things I appreciate about this congregation is the fact that even though we don't have any young children with us, in our practice of radical inclusivity, we still honor the child within by having a story for all ages. My story for this week is called I Hope. It is a new release by Monique Grace Smith, who lives in Victoria, and she is also the author of the young adult version of Braiding Sweetgrass. This book is also translated into Cree. I'm not going to try that. But if we have Cree speakers, I would encourage you to let me know, and we'll make sure that it's included next time. I hope that you and those you love know joy. I hope you are kind. I hope you have belly laughs. I hope you love to learn. I hope that when sad tears leave your eyes, someone is there to catch them. I hope you are helpful. I hope you know beautiful happiness. I hope you play outside. I hope you are a caretaker of Mother Earth. I hope that when you need a hug, there are loving arms to hug you. I hope that you and those you love have healthy food, clean water, and a safe place to sleep. I hope you are courageous. I hope you are respectful. Oops, I missed one, sorry. I hope you remember to smile that beautiful smile of yours. I hope you are respectful. I hope you always remember that you are special and you matter. I have lots of hopes for you and for me, and I wonder, what are your hopes? As we close our time for all ages and sing the possibility, I invite you to join in singing. We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May your heart be at peace as you go, to nurture the spark of your precious life. We hold you in our hearts as you go. Nous vous entourons des mots maintenant et toujours, que vainqueur soit aimé pour toujours, cultivant l'attention jour après
As a spiritual community, it is our intention to be authentically present to one another, especially in these different times. One way we do this is by including in our service a time to listen to the significant personal milestones in our lives. If you have such a milestone and wish to share it, now is the time to do so. We'll begin with those of you in the hall, and then we'll invite those attending on Zoom. When you come to the microphone, please introduce yourself with your full name and, if you wish, your pronouns. As I place the final pebble in the water bowl for the joys and concerns that have been left unspoken, I ask that you hold in your heart everything that you have heard and felt.
We share in love, we listen in love, we hold one another in love. Each joy and concern we witness and learn and grow together in love and grow together in love. Holding what we have heard and so much more of the anxiety of these times, I invite us into a centering moment, into a time of words, silence, and then a musical response. And I offer these words to take us into the silence. Words from Hope in the Dark by Rebecca Solnit. It is important to say what hope is not. It is not the belief that everything was, is, or will be fine. The evidence is all around us of tremendous suffering and destruction. The hope I am interested in is about broad perspectives with specific possibilities, ones that invite or demand that we act. It is also not a sunny, everything is getting better narrative, though it may be a counter to the everything is getting worse one. You could call it an account of complexities and uncertainties with openings. Hope locates itself in the premises that we don't know what will, in the premise that we don't know what will happen, and in the spaciousness of uncertainty is the room to act. When you recognize uncertainty, you recognize that you may be able to influence the outcomes. You alone, or you in concert with a few dozen or several million others. Hope is an embrace of the unknown and the unknowable, an alternative to the certainty of both optimists and pessimists. Optimists think it will be all fine without our involvement. Pessimists adopt the opposite position. Both excuse themselves from acting. It is the belief that what we do matters, even though how and when it may matter, who and what it may impact, are not things we can know beforehand.
invite you to join myself and Larry in a responsive reading. These words were written by Loretta Williams, an American sociologist and activist. She was the founding chair of the National Interreligious Commission on Civil Rights and served the Unitarian Universalist Association as Director of Social Responsibility from 1980 to 1989. I would invite those online to stay on mute and join me in the opening stanza. Those here in the room that wish to can join Larry in the bolded text, the bolded and indented text. We, bearers of the dream, affirm that a new vision of hope is emerging. We pledge to work for that community in which justice will be actively present.
We affirm that there is struggle ahead, yet we know that the struggle is the hope for the future.
We affirm that we are co-creators of the future, not passive pawns, and we stand united in affirmation of our hope and vision of a just and inclusive society.
We affirm the unity of all persons. We affirm brotherhood and sisterhood that allows us to touch each other's humanity.
We affirm a unity that opens our eyes, ears, and hearts to see the different but common forms of oppression, suffering, and pain.
Yet we are one as we celebrate our hopes for human unity. Within ourselves and within the gathered community, we will discover the strength not to hide in indifference.
Affirming that hope, publicly expressed, energizes and enables us to move forward. Together we pledge action to transcend barriers, be they racial, political, economic, social, or religious.
We pledge to make our tomorrows become our todays. For this morning's reading, Reverend Debra has chosen an edited excerpt of a Washington Post article dated December 21st, 2016. All Souls Unitarian. Now, some of you may have heard that name before because if you remember Reverend Shauna Lingood from Victoria, that was where she served prior to coming to Victoria. It's a liberal church 2 miles north of the White House in Washington, D.C. It has seen record attendance in the weeks after the election of Donald Trump. Now consider this was 2016, after his first term election. Congregants have filled the pews, bringing fears and disillusionment about what the next 4 years could mean for them and for progressive causes they value, including gay rights and the treatment of women, immigrants, and minorities. The following is excerpted from a sermon by the then senior minister, Reverend Rob Hardies, delivered December 4th in answer to people's questions about how, in the new year with a new administration, they can find hope. What gives you hope? As a minister, I get this question often, but in the last several weeks, I've been getting it all the time. I'm confused. I feel vulnerable and afraid for my future, my kids' future. I'm concerned that everything I've worked for in my life is at risk. How do I find hope? What gives you hope? Yet I'm afraid that the very question frames hope in misleading ways. To ask what gives us hope suggests to me that hope comes like a gift does, unbidden from the world outside of us, all wrapped up and ready to go. I'm afraid that a lot of us are waiting around for some piece of news or secret knowledge to be delivered to us that will suddenly give us the hope we so desperately seek. This is not my experience of how hope works. What I've observed from my own struggles and those of others is that in order to be hopeful, people must constantly work at it. We must make hope a lifelong spiritual discipline, an intentional practice. In this way, hope is like love. It's not a once and for all cure. It's one of the most important ongoing spiritual projects of our lives. Hope is a journey, a difficult path through a beautiful and unbroken world. Here are 3 lessons I have learned on the journey to hope. Start where you are and take one step at a time. When the distance between you and the promised land seems really, really far, start where you are and take one step at a time. People who successfully cultivate hope in their lives don't become paralyzed by seemingly insurmountable problems. They get involved. They do the good that they can in the place where they are, with the tools and the people around them. They find concrete and local opportunities to engage the work of redeeming our world. 2, cultivate a spiritual practice. We need a horizon in our lives that is larger than the day's headlines or the trending meme or the latest hashtag. I don't know about you, but I'm looking for the Spirit to open up my horizons, to blow my world open a little and give me a bigger perspective. Your practice might literally be taking yourself out to the hills for a hike. Or it might be a mindfulness meditation that radically grounds you in the presence. There are lots of practices. What they all have in common is that they add a little eternity to the relentless temporality of our lives. Whatever you do, don't make the journey alone. The great Sufi mystic Rumi writes, "There's a secret medicine given only to those who hurt so hard they cannot hope. It is this: look as long as you can at the friend that you love. We need companions for the journey of hope. Family, friends, comrades, lovers. There are times when it's necessary for us to retreat and do our personal spiritual work. But the hope journey can't be made alone. Believe me, I've made a study of this. I take note of the things that give people hope. The hopeful people are the together people. We're on this journey together." I'll turn to Leah for song number 2.
And please rise again in body or in spirit, and we'll sing together, "Gather the Spirit." Gather the Spirit, harvest the power, our separate fires will kindle one flame. Witness the mystery of this hour, the tries in the night appear all the same. Gather in peace. Hope, publicly expressed, energizes and enables us to move forward. Back in the mid-1990s, I co-facilitated workshops and retreats that we called Sacred Ecology. These workshops evolved and were inspired primarily by the work of Joanna Macy, her collaborators, and the ideas of deep ecology. It was engaged in her early work around despair and empowerment that I recognized how much energy it took to keep grief and anxiety at the state of the world in check. How much of my energy and our collective energy was being wasted on worry as we are kept in a fear mode rather than actively contributing to change, a hope-filled perspective. Her work has informed and inspired me for much of my adult life. Active Hope, one of her books, Active Hope, How to Face the Mess We're In Without Going Crazy, has been reissued with a revision of How to Face the Mess We Are In with Unexpected Resilience and Creative Power. Active hope, you see, is not wishful thinking. Active hope is not waiting to be rescued by the Lone Ranger or some savior. Active hope is waking up to the beauty of life on whose behalf we can act. We belong to this world. The web of life is calling us forth at this time. We've come a long way and we are here to play our part. Active hope is a readiness to engage. Active hope is the readiness to discover the strengths in ourselves and in each other. A readiness to discover the reasons for hope and the occasions for love. We need this kind of active hope these days when so much is happening to try and keep us in fear and anxiety. We need active hope, and we need one another. Václav Havel, the Czech poet and statesman, writes about hope as an orientation of the spirit, an orientation of the heart. This is the orientation, I think, of our living faith, the recognition of the inherent worth, the interdependent connection to all, and our human agency and responsibility to act on behalf of the beauty and flourishing of life, of all life. The question that has been with me in engaging this perception of hope has been, is hope something that comes unbidden, or is it cultivated? Emily Dickinson's poem, thank you, Leah, for putting it to song, says, hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without words and never stops at all. It speaks to, in some way, to the notion of hope's presence, sitting right there, available and willing. You know that image of the devil and the angel? Well, I see hope as the angel and fear and anxiety as the devil. Or the adage of life is two wolves, good and evil, which will you feed? It is a choice, you see, to choose hope. I so appreciate the offering, or the reading that Larry just offered this morning, the excerpt from Reverend Rob Hardy's sermon, that suggests three things that we can do to more fully engage this orientation of the heart, ways to feed the wolf of good, of love, some concrete ways that we can build our hope muscle, active hope. First, start where you are, one step at a time. Start with the certainty that every action has impact and the intention of yours is for the good. A kind word even is active hope. This past week, I had the pleasure of attending a virtual concert with Melanie Demore. Do you know? You will. Her name may not be familiar. However, I would venture that everyone has heard some of her music. One of her pieces has become, if you will, an anthem for protests happening south of the border. Put one step in front of the other and lead with love. That's Melanie Demore. It was a particularly poignant during the conversation that followed the concert, when someone informed her that her song was being sung by choristers in the subways at Washington, D.C., serenading federal workers on their way to work. And then someone else shared that their daughter was one of those people, and how important hearing that song had been. Active hope. As theologian Paul Waddle puts it, hope has to be seen to be believed. It has to be made visible. It has to be something we can feel and touch. We are called to be persons who embody hope for one another. We have to be each other's hope partners. This is our invitation this morning. Hope partners, how can we be? Put one step in front of the other and lead with love. Singing in the subway, smiling at people, planting a garden. All of these are ways to be hope partners. I was reminded about the story that I heard, which may or may not be true, but that the Mormons, as they were forced west across the country, they planted gardens, knowing that they wouldn't harvest, but the people coming after would. They were hope partners for the people who would come next. I invite us to remember Anne Lamont's words. Sometimes hope is a radical act, sometimes a quietly merciful response, sometimes a second wind, or just an increased awareness of goodness and beauty. An active hope step we can all take is the cultivation or deepening of spiritual practice, the second of Reverend Rob's suggestions. Practicing and deepening a spiritual practice of increasing awareness of goodness and beauty. In the reading, Reverend Hardy says that there are many spiritual practices, and what they all have in common is that they add a little eternity to the relentless temporality of our lives. We are so in need of moments to remind ourselves of beauty, of connection, of eternal wonder. Taking time to practice wonder has become a very active spiritual practice for me these days. I mean, really intentionally being with wonder. The wonder that we even are is pretty amazing. That nature offers more colors and sounds than imagination could ever imagine. That we have the capacity to love and to be courageous. So I invite you to just take time to notice. Pause. To be in a reflective moment, to witness goodness. It is an act of resistance and an act of resilience. Act of hope. Being with wonder. Spiritual practice has the additional benefit of feeling more deeply connected, something we all long for, whether we're conscious of it or not. Remembering that we are all on this journey together, that we share this one life, that we are not alone, that collectively we can have a greater impact as well as ease anxiety, make reaching out even more important now than ever. We come into this community seeking and finding connection. Being here is an act of hope. It is an act of resilience. And I've actually been finding hope in the way that Canadians are coming together in these anxious times. We are finding our commonalities rather than focusing on our differences. Well, except maybe in some of the election rhetoric. And we will all vote tomorrow if we haven't already done so, right? Seeking connections and commonality is an act of hope. This is your invitation to be agents of active hope. For as Norman Wurzbach, professor of theology and ecology at Duke University, Divinity School, and a pioneer of scholarly work on religion, philosophy, and ecology, who was, by the way, originally from Lethbridge, says, "The point of hope and the reason hope matters in every time and place is that it signals the resolve to work for a future in which people and places can thrive together. A future of shared flourishing is worthy of everyone's commitment. I invite you to be agents of active hope. May it be so, and may we sing it to being."
Please rise again in body or in spirit, and we'll sing together, "Love Will Guide Us."
Love will guide us. Closing words from my colleague, Teresa Soto. In this community, we hold hope close. We don't always know what comes next, but it cannot dissuade us. We don't always know just what to do, but that will not mean that we are lost in the wilderness. We rely on the certainty beneath, the foundation of our values and ethics. We are the people who return to love like the North Star and to the truth that we are greater together than we are alone. Our hope does not live in some glimmer of an indistinct future. Rather, we know the way to the world of which we dream, and by covenant and the movement forward of one right action and the next, we know that one day we will all arrive home. We put one foot in front of the other and lead with love.
Debbie and Charla will now pass the baskets for the offering. For those here with us for the first time, your presence is your contribution today. Those online can go to our website, and click the big blue donate button at the bottom of the screen and on the homepage to give. To help our wider community, half of all cash donations will be given to our charity of the month. This month, our charity is Eco-Justice, which began as the Sierra Legal Defense Fund back in 1990 in response to the Exxon Valdez disaster, which then was the world's worst oil spill. If you want your donation to go to the charity of the month, you'll need to make a note of that on your e-transfer or check. Thank you for your support. And for those who don't carry cash, we do actually have an opportunity at the back on the welcome table where you can make a donation by debit or credit card.
From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live.
We'll now extinguish the chalice. The words will be on the screen. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. I want to thank the many folks who've given their time and energy to make today's service so wonderful. The Sunday Services Committee, the audiovisual team, Leah Hookinson, our greeters and offering collectors, and those at the welcoming table, the kitchen volunteers who come early and stay late for cleanup, and those who brought food and just heartfelt gratitude to all of you. And of course, I can't forget the absolutely fantastic Photonics, our choir.
Fabulous.
Fabulous, yeah, fabulous Photonics. But the fabulous Photonics are fantastic. Okay, so we have a few announcements today. Well, I'm always going to slip up at some point, you know that. This coming Friday is our annual spring veggie potluck with Brecon United Church. Join us for a fun evening of good food where we hope to foster a greater community with the members of Brecon. Friday, May 2nd, here in this main hall. The event begins at 5:30 p.m. and we ask the RSVP to the ejc@ufon.ca. That's ejc@ufon.ca. And we need some help after the service today. Our sanctuary is being utilized tomorrow as a voting site for the federal election. We need to set up 10 of our long tables today as part of the rental agreement with Elections Canada. Your help setting these up is really greatly appreciated. And on that note, we have our fifth principle, the right of conscience and the use of the democratic process within our congregations and in society at large. So if you're not one of the just almost 200,000 islanders here who have voted already, remember to vote tomorrow. You will see on the wall near our entrance that we now have a new, fully stocked first aid kit. This is mounted so that it can be easily taken down and it's up at eye level so you can find it quickly. And please note where this is, should you ever have a need for it. Frankly, I don't think we were going to need it, but let's have it there anyway. We're all healthy. Lastly, as you may have caught when I was introducing Reverend Debra at the beginning of this service, we are very pleased and grateful that Reverend Debra and Reilly will be returning to our fellowship for our next congregational year beginning in September. And and they will continue that excellent work that they've been doing for us. And also on that note, we are also grateful to have Debbie Goodman coming back next year. She's such a wonderful storyteller, and we're so grateful to have her as a member of our congregation. To find out about all special events, groups, and meetings taking place in the hall, you can go to the calendar on our website. You can read the weekly emails sent to you on Fridays, or check out the large white boards in the hall around the corner by the washrooms. So we're nearing the end of our service. After we sing Carry the Flame, you have the opportunity to join a social group. There are breakout rooms available online and in the hall for the next 30 minutes. If you want to join an online breakout room, stay online and the host will put you there. For those wanting to join the discussion, please stay where you are here and enjoy. You know, Unitarians are well known for their potlucks, and there's a great potluck, lots of great food today. So stick around. So we'll now sing our final song, Carry the Flame. The words are on the walls in the hall, one of them in this corner over here and one at the back. Our custom is to stand and hold hands in a big circle or touch elbows as you are comfortable.